Hi, I'm Ed Wickman, the Executive Director of Hospitality, and today I'm going to be using the Ben Fur pie pan and showing you guys a nice dish that I think you might enjoy making. What we're going to do is we're doing a lobster pie. So for our lobster pie, we're going to make the filling, and I'm starting off with this hot iron skillet, which is also a Ben Fur product, and I'm going to go ahead and add in some butter. And then you want to go quick because that butter starts to brown. So I'm going to go ahead and add my shallots, my leeks, and mushrooms. So this happens to have some button mushrooms, cremini mushrooms. It also has some portobello mushrooms. And all I'm doing is sauteing the onion and mushrooms in the pan together. And as that cooks, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. And you just let that simmer for a couple minutes. We're going to go ahead and add the lobster. And these are just lobster tails that are split in half, so I use the main lobster tails. And went ahead and split these in half. And you want to cook them with the shell, because that shell is going to give you a lot of flavor. So I go and get these lobsters in the pan with all these mushrooms and leeks and garlic and butter. And we're just going to simmer those lobster tails for a couple minutes until those shells start turning red. You flip them around a little bit. There's juice from the lobster. You can just add that all in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little more butter, because lobsters love butter. And then we're going to add just a tablespoon of mustard. And then we're going to add a little flour to this, because the flour is going to mix with the butter and it's going to thicken. So we add a little bit of butter and then the flour. And then we're going to incorporate that together just a little bit. So you just stir it a little bit. Real simple. You see those shells are starting to turn red. It's a good sign. And now we're going to go ahead and add some white wine. Let that cook just for about 30 seconds or so. That boiling cooks off the liquor. Go ahead and stir it a little more. Now we're pretty close to being ready here to add the milk. So we go ahead and add the milk, which is the base of the sauce. And then we're going to go ahead and add some herbs. This is parsley and chive, but really I call it herbs to house. So whatever herbs you have in the house is what you should use. And then we're going to squeeze a little lemon. And now that just simmers and cooks there while we go and get the pan ready, this pie pan. So I have my mashed potatoes in the piping bag ready to go. Basically, this is however you make your mashed potatoes at home. This happens to have a little bit of cream, a little bit of butter, and some salt and pepper in it. And then for every pound of potato, I add about 2 egg yolks. So this is about 4 pounds of mashed potatoes. So we went with 4 egg yolks, and that gives a little richness and helps the color when it bakes. And so what I'm doing is just going and laying a little mashed potato along the edge. And then I'll go ahead and take just a little bit and put it on the bottom, a little bit on the base. So this is ready for our filling. And if we come back to our filling over here, we'll see that these lobster shells have all cooked. They turn red like that. That means they've cooked through. And we don't want the lobster shell in the dish. So I go ahead and just take that meat out. And then we go ahead and put the chunk lobster back in our filling mixture. We toss it, and then it all goes right into our casserole dish. And then what I do is I take a little bit of panko breadcrumbs, just a Japanese breadcrumb, and it has some herbs in it. and a little Parmesan cheese. We go ahead and just put some of that on the crust. We put this in the oven at about 350 degrees, 375 degrees for about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and it's done.